In this video, I want to talk about the top colors that I think actually matter when it comes to bass fishing. There are hundreds of different colors out there, and if you guys know me or if you've been around the Bass Fishing HQ channel, you know that I don't love the color game. I really believe a lot of anglers spend too much time trying to figure out that perfect color when really it's about I think I have a list of 5 or 6 different kind of shades of colors that really are the ones that you probably need that catch a lot of bass. Now, if you're listening to this the day that it comes out, this video comes out, happy 4th of July. With that being said, I'm actually running an Independence Day sale for the next couple of days over at Fin Fishing. Basically, everything on the website is 20% off except for the rod glove. So you can get a USA made sun shirt, 20% off. You can get this sweet Stars and Stripes bass hat. I have sun gloves, my t-shirts, even the new t-shirt that I got, everything's 20% off. So if you guys would like to help support this channel, the best way to do so is shopping at Fin Fishing. I will leave some links down below. All right, let's talk about these colors. I have them written down here, and let's go ahead and go through them. Now, the first color, the one that you absolutely need to have, is black and blue. Black and blue. And I kind of like to lump just straight black into black and blue. I think that they work pretty much in the exact same situations. But this color, black and blue, man, it's not only, I think when a lot of people think of black and blue, they think about jigs, you know, and black and blue jig is by far one of the most tournament winning baits that there's ever been. It just catches big fish. But with that being said, you know, black and blue is it's just a great color all around, especially in some baits that you may not always think about. For example, a number of years ago, I was actually using a black and blue crankbait a lot, and I still use it when that kind of situation calls. But man, a black and blue crankbait, black with blue fleck, that thing can be very good. It's not, I've used it at night as well. It's a great nighttime fishing bait. But there's been some times where I know that the bass are feeding on crawfish. I'm on a crankbait bite. I'm in maybe a little bit dirtier water, and that black and blue will absolutely kill. Also, really good in the morning times. You know, when you have those low light conditions, same thing with the evening. When you have those low light conditions, it's just not a color that bass are seeing a whole lot of in fast moving baits. It can be really, really good. Same thing applies with a spinnerbait. A black and blue spinnerbait is a great bait to use at night. It's also a great bait to use in, you know, lakes like that have that really dark colored water. For example, in Florida, where you have a lot of that tannic water that's really tea colored, those are great places where black and blue is absolutely gonna shine. So another time that I use black and blue is simply in dark conditions outside. We just talked about mornings and evenings, but if you have dark days, it's very cloudy out, rainy out, black and blue top waters, they all work. Black and blue is a color you absolutely need to have. All right, let's move on to the next one. And I put an asterisk by this one, and that is because this color is red. Like, I'm talking Sam Rayburn red colored, like bright red. And the reason that I put an asterisk by it is because red is a color that can dominate, but it doesn't have it doesn't work year round. You know, it doesn't seem to work year round. Now, if you're fishing kind of in the winter, in that pre-spawn time frame, man, red is a killer color, especially in a lot of your hard plastic baits. I mean, crankbaits, lipless, jerk baits even, but even in your soft plastic baits, you know, there's a couple of colors that I like that just have a little bit of red accents on them, and those baits having that little bit of red on there, I think can really help you catch more fish in that winter to pre-spawn kind of phase. Now, after the spawn, I don't really fish a whole lot of reds. That's why I put an asterisk by it, but it's absolutely a color that you need to have during that time of the year. Also, like I said, accents, baits that have accents. A spinner bait with a little red kicker blade can dominate. So red is absolutely a color that is a must. All right, moving on to the next one. And these, I have 2 different colors here, and I kind of want to explain the differences in them because they're all kind of similar. But anyways, the next one is what I'm going to call white or bone colored, okay? I don't think that the bass see a whole big difference between baits that are like white in color and baits that are like bone in color. Like, you know, Berkeley did some tests and actually saw that bass couldn't really tell the difference between white and yellow. So I don't think they're going to be able to tell the difference between white and bone colored. So these ones though, white and bone, when I say those, what I'm really referring to is like more opaque colors, like straight white, straight bone, not really like bait fishy type colors. Like for example, I have, let me draw this, grab this bait out right here. This is a little Kitech bait. This color to me right here, it's like, this is a natural bait fish color. And that's another color, is what I'm gonna call natural bait fish. And as you can see here, white and bone are different than this. And the thing is that white and bone really seem to work well. Like when you're fishing clear water, but the bass are eating shad, threadfin shad, gizzard shad. But when you're fishing clear water and you have a little bit more overcast conditions or really windy conditions, that's when I'm gonna pick up that white or bone. Now, if I have a little bit more slick conditions, a little bit more sunny conditions, sometimes I think that white or that bone is just too much for a bass. And that's when I go with more of my natural bait fish colors. This right here, I think it's what is this color actually called? This is a electric shad. This is a good natural bait fish color. Now, natural bait fish colors, there's kind of a lot of different individual colors that can all be lumped in to a natural bait fish color. Another one would be like a sexy shad crankbait. A sexy shad crankbait to me is kind of that natural bait fish, natural shad type color. It's definitely one that you need to have. I throw a ton of hard baits, jerk baits with natural colors, natural shad colors, a lot of top waters with natural shad colors, and obviously a lot of moving soft plastic baits. Because the thing about natural bait fish colors, I'm trying to mimic a lot of shad, minnows, things that bass eat all over the place. But anyways, that is absolutely a color that you need to have, natural bait fish. The next one that you absolutely need to have is what I'm calling translucent bait fish. So we kind of have like 3 different versions of the same overall color. You have that bone, very opaque, you have natural, and then you have translucent. Translucent meaning you can see through it. Now, when you have very tough conditions out there on the water, your translucent colors, especially when you're fishing very clear water, tend to outperform everything else, even your natural shad colors. That's why I kind of had to separate them, because I've seen days out there where you're fishing in really clear water and you're fishing a sexy shad crankbait, which is more of that natural shad color, and you can't get bit. You switch over to some of the, Strike King's translucent colors and you will start getting bit right away. Those baits that they can't see as well are really a great clear water bait when bass are eating bait fish of some sort. Again, shad, minnows of some sort, alewife, whatever it may be that they're eating. So we have bone, natural, translucent. Those actually, in my opinion, are 3 different colors that sometimes the bass aren't going to give a crap. Let's clear that up. Sometimes they won't, but we fish so many highly pressured situations here in Ohio. I do see when there is a difference in those colors. All right, I think that wraps up all of them except for the most popular, best color ever, and that is green pumpkin. Green pumpkin, absolutely in everything. Green pumpkin worms, jigs, crawls, minnows, spinner baits, green pumpkin everything. Green pumpkin crankbaits, another really good thing to do. I love green pumpkin crankbait. Clear water, fish are eating crawdads, green pumpkin crankbait is my go-to. So guys, those are the colors, in my opinion, that matter. Also, there's one other one I got to mention, and that's bubble gum. Now, I actually did a video about bubble gum and when I like to use it and when it kind of outperforms all the other colors. I will leave it linked right here so you guys can check that one out next. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow.